If you are new to the channel, you should know that I am a huge fan of the Royal Enfield Himalayan. Royal Enfield North America dropped off one of these bikes at my house last year, and I had it for a few weeks, and during those few weeks I gobbled up a few hundred miles, and honestly, every one of those miles was just as good as the first one. I've been looking at my garage a lot lately about what should be my next addition, and I keep coming back to the small adventure bike because it does so many things so well, and it gives me an excuse to get on the dirt a bit more and go camping. But in today's video, I want to take a look at the 6 best custom Royal Enfield Himalayans from around the world. And to make it clear, these aren't simple modifications we're talking about. These are turbocharged, frame stretched, suspension swapped customs. And since they all are unique in their own ways, this won't be ranked from 1 to 7. I'm simply showing you 7 examples of modified Himalayans that I think are worth knowing about. There are definitely more than these 7 that are worth talking about, so let me know in the comments below and I'll make a second part to this video. Alright, let's jump into the list. Built by Royal Enfield's Technical Center in the UK, the RMR Roach is what happens when you combine a pile of leftover parts and a caffeine-fueled late nights. It features a stretched swing arm, a manga-inspired livery, and a turbocharger. It's a completely overkill for the 411cc single engine, but it's got a certain Mad Max vibe that looks just so damn good. The engine came from a wrecked bike and the front forks were swapped out for a set of lowered and revalved MX forks. It's in the rear where things get really wild. A single-sided swing arm that was stretched to take this bike to the next level of coolness. Move to the front and you'll notice that the Himalayan's quirky fairy frame is still in play, except now it's been modified to hold an insect-like cluster of 4 projecting lights. Now, for the best part about this bike. The Garrett GT 125 Turbo produces a maximum boost of 1 bar, or about 14.5 psi of pressure, to push the engine to about 50 horsepower. There's an external wastegate and a custom-made screamer pipe in addition. The bike is crazy from every angle you look at it, but it's all done with such tact that makes this bike tasteful at the same time. Royal Enfield's Technical Center has already produced a few wonderful creatives, but I'm sure more of this level will be coming soon. Bali's finest Smoked Garage took the Himalayan and built it into a sleek flat tracker. They took Royal Enfield's military heritage and added a touch of stealth fighter influence, sleek and futuristic, but also solid and rugged. The biggest mechanical change on the SG411 is to the suspension. The stock 41mm forks are gone, replaced by beefier 43mm upside down forks from Showa, and the monoshock has been updated to an up-spec Öhlins unit with remote reservoir, linked to a custom swing arm. The wheels are off the shelf and spoked, although the spokes are now hidden by carbon-coated covers. The front is a relatively conventional 18 by 2.5, but the back is a chunky 14 by 5. Both are shod with Dunlop's K180s, which is a road legal compound with a dirt track tread pattern. Getting the front end and new wheels to fit required custom machine triples. Further down are custom-made carbon floor guards to protect the tubes and add to the muscular look. The paint is a dark army green with orange accents to highlight the unusual shape of the bike. Virtually the only shiny part left is the custom exhaust system, with the headers given a few more curves than the squared off stock pipework. While I said I was not going to rank these bikes, the SG411 from Smoked Garage will definitely rank near the top. The entire bike shows a muscular and futuristic presence that would be hard to replicate from anyone else. This is not just one of the best custom Himalayans of the last few years, this is one of the coolest custom motorcycles overall. One of the more visually appealing bikes on today's list comes from motorcycle builder Thrive and YouTuber Den Demos. They started with a 2019 Himalayan and wanted to build something special without cutting the main frame. He wanted his new 2019 Royal Enfield Himalayan to be able to go back to the original condition in the future without huge effort. So Thrive built a car-inspired build that used 3D printing to create fiberglass parts that would bolt onto the bike easily, and that means being able to be bolted off just as easy. The new bodywork is fiendishly simple, but it has a big impact. Up front is a pair of side fairings designed to tie the Himalayan's fuel tank and windscreen together. Out back is a one-piece unit that incorporates side panels, a seat pan, and a rear fender. They're all practical considerations everywhere, like a 3D printed seat release mechanism and mounting points to attach a small dry bag. Thrive also designed and 3D printed new headlight mounts and added a pair of PIA spots. There are also a hidden cover at the rear to keep debris out from under the seat area and a custom-made aluminum license plate bracket. As for my personal thoughts, you know I love Group B rally cars, and anything that is paying homage to the glory days of rally cars will be okay in my book. I think the main idea is being able to bring this motorcycle back to stock form with only a few bolts makes this bike much cooler than others because it already showcases how cool a stock Himalayan can be. You can still look at this bike and know it's a Himalayan, something you don't see often with custom builds based off of other bikes. Grid7 Customs took a Himalayan and gave it a fresh look with a custom tank that looks like it came off a Triumph Bonneville, and then they painted it a lovely blood red. The side panels were also changed to give this bike a more streamlined look, almost like a vintage street scrambler. The chassis of the Royal Enfield Himalayan Scrambler has been modified to give its desired look. The twin headlamp setup and mudguards along with instrumentation consoles are all new. And this is a very simple build, but even the simplest of changes can turn the Himalayan into something extraordinary. I can't find a single audio clip showcasing that custom exhaust, but if you've got one, throw it in below in the comments. If you don't know who Fuel Bespoke Motorcycles is, they are brilliant. The Spanish shop hosts a yearly dirt tour that travels 4,000 kilometers across northern Africa. To fit the Scrambler ethos properly, they built a Royal Enfield Himalayan that looks like it just finished the 1975 running of the Paris-Dakar. Fuel's work on the Himalayan is relatively simple when you get to know it. They kept the stock tank and most of the original subframe while ditching the gawky headlight and fairing combo. Up front, you'll find a classic enduro headlight and shroud and a big old dirt bike front fender. The crew also fitted new bars and a set of burly brush guards to protect the controls in case of a tip over. There's some trick reworking happening out back too. Fuel built a solo seat that took off the passenger pegs but left the brackets so that the operation can be reversed. The original pillion area now covered by the blank off plate and a removable custom built luggage rack. Since the area in front of the back wheels is sealed off and the tail is quite long, there isn't really a need for a big rear fender, so Fuel simply installed a minimal LED taillight and a plate mount combo to round it off. Fuel also installed a Powertronic ECU to get the fueling just right, but that's as far as the performance mods go. Reliability and simplicity were key factors here. As for my thoughts, it's a no-fuss build with an equally no-fuss livery. White with enough red to conjure up images of the Paris-Dakar glory days, and I'm betting it looks and sounds even better traversing the Moroccan sounds. Now, the final bike on today's list is not really a Himalayan, but it is the perfect adventure bike to ever adorn the Royal Enfield name and maybe hints to come what's coming out of Royal Enfield next. The founders of the great Maui rally, Robert and James, turned their attention to the Interceptor 650 to craft the perfect support bike for the event. Complete with parts from British Customs, built well, PIA headlights, and of course beautifully waxed canvas bags from Maui. The biggest change is obviously the modified upside down WP forks and the extended rear shock, and the new K60 dual sport tires. It takes the capable Interceptor 650 and really dials it up a notch. The new forks meant new yokes, so Royal Enfield's sister company Harris Performance fabricated a pair and added a couple of heavy duty aluminum bash guards too. Maui beefed up protection still further with more engine guards and that also house additional fog lights. Now, what is there to say about this bike? Well, besides it's basically perfect in every way, the livery is stunning, the forks make the bike, the pipe looks great, it's just perfect no matter which way you slice it, and I hope this shows where things are going with the future of the Himalayan motorcycle. We've seen some pretty interesting Royal Enfield Himalayans in today's video, but I know we are still missing mini custom builds, so if you've got some, let me know in the comments. One company that's missing from my list is Thailand's K-Speed, which has done so much with the Royal Enfield 650 platform already that I'm shocked they've not jumped onto the Himalayan platform yet. Fingers crossed that one day they jump into the Himalayan train. Now, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video because I surely enjoyed looking at some of the most interesting Himalayan builds on the internet. If you liked today's video and thought it was entertaining, I'd appreciate if you gave me a like, comment, and maybe even subscribe to my channel. Now, go out there and ride safe.